the Bosal. Uh, from there, I go to a 1/2 inch, and this in here is a 1/2 inch with all rawhide. This is more for one that's straight up, what I consider straight up in the hackamore, meaning I can ride one-handed. That's the final phase that I go through before I go to the 2-rein. Just so they have a 2-rein, you go to the 2-rein after this one, and you can guide them one-handed with 2-rein without using the bridle reins until they get adjusted. Then you incorporate the bridle reins with the 2-rein. From there, I may go to another 1/2 inch that's a little bit softer. This is a little bit softer, and then again this is a little bit softer than that one. This has got a good feel. This is a latigo body. This is a kangaroo body. These are both made by San Benito. I have them made for me out of Clements, California. They do a really good job, and they have good cores in them. This is leather, and this is kangaroo with rawhide knots. The hanger here on this one is made by Bruce Sandifer, a friend of mine that gave this to me. It's a little bit fancier braided hanger. It's a nice hanger, and it has a tie back, meaning that if it gets in the horse's eyes, I can go through the other side here and do a hooey on this side and keep it back away from the horse's eyes. It happened to get in the horse's eyes. So all it is tie back. You want to go around the jaw and not around the throat latch. It's just to keep the hanger off its eyes, but that's just a nicer hanger there. These other ones here, all of these are made by Bill Black. Probably all of you know him by Blackie. I rode with him on the MC at Roaring Springs. He makes a really good Bosals, and he makes them for me just the way that I want them. And with swell nose or without swell nose. Any of these can be made differently according to what you want. I have all different sizes and stiffnesses. All of mine, Bosal, or 7.5 nose button from this point to this point. Here is 7.5. Inside diameter is 10.5. Now that's depending on the type of horses you ride. If you're riding an Arabian, you're going to want probably a 9.5, maybe a 9. So it depends on the type of breed of horses. I ride quarter horses that are between 14.3 to 15.2 hands, and these seem to work. That size works on all of those. Some of them I may go to on my 3/4 because of the size bigness. You use a 3/4 Makati on it. Some I have 11 inch, so just a little bit longer because of the Makati's bigger, but not any longer than that. Now if you ride half draft horses or bigger type raw or boned horses, you may need a 11 inch or 11.5 inch. You got to look at the type of horses that you ride in conjunction with that. If you make it longer, you can make the nose button a little, for every inch longer, you can make the nose button 1/4 inch longer to keep it balanced. It'll work better that way. So, but with a 10.5, a 7 to 7.5 inch nose button will work fine with these. As we move down to the more 1/2 inches here, this is a 1/2 inch that's got a braided rawhide core in it, made by San Benito. There's no interweave in the nose button. It's a straight nose with nerve knots. It's got a good feel to it. It's the latigo cheeks, and it's just a little bit softer. This one here is one that I won, and now I'm having some made by Steve Harris. Steve Harris made this one. He does an excellent job. His braiding is very clean, very flat and smooth, and uses really good cores in his. He's another great braider. This again has just a slight swelled nose, not as defined as one like this one. It's just smaller from here to here, so it's swelled, but very slightly swelled, which I really like. It just gives you just enough sometimes, uh, enough that you need. Um, that's what I like about his. He'll change the direction of the braid and makes it look really nice, and really has a good feel. I use this one a lot. Um, these also have, some will have what they call plugs in them. Steve Harris here puts a plug into his. Bill Black puts a plug in his. All it is for is to lay the Makati down at the base of the heel knot before you make your wraps. It doesn't make it necessarily function different,